Well, is the Republican Party a party of the elites? Does it only appeal to the educated, white, wealthy, or do they have an appeal to blue-collar voters? And if they don't, are they going to lose election after election? Well, we've got former presidential candidate Rick Santorum, former senator from Pennsylvania. He's written a book called Blue Collar Conservatives, and he's with us right now. And Rick, it's so good to have you with us. God bless you.
Thank you, Pat. It's great to be with you. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but the weather interrupted my plans.
Those things happen. Well, I understand Obama was really scared of you running because why?
Well, we were in a campaign based on the core American values, and people ask me what a blue-collar conservative is, and a blue-collar conservative is someone who shares the values that made America the greatest country in the history of the world. They believe in limited government, they believe in family, they believe in faith, they believe in work and responsibility and taking care of yourself and your community. That's still a broad swath of America, and it is a broad swath of middle America. And Middle America has been left behind, I think, by both parties, but particularly by President Obama. In this recent last 5 or 6 years, their wages are stagnant. Their culture that is around them is falling apart. The family is falling apart. They didn't want to vote for President Obama, but they weren't really particularly interested in voting for someone who, well, at least they didn't believe shared their values. And so that's what we appealed to. We went out and talked about the importance of family as an economic unit. Excuse me. We talked about the importance of manufacturing and energy and blue-collar jobs that create wealth in America for all Americans, not just for those at the top.
Rick, your grandfather was an immigrant coal miner. How did you rise from that humble beginning to be a United States senator, a lawyer, and a presidential candidate? What'd you do?
Well, yeah, my grandfather was an immigrant. My dad was an immigrant. He came over when he was a boy and grew up in a coal town and, had the opportunity, thanks to the GI Bill, he was in World War II, to get an education. And that education, he ended up, interestingly enough, working at the Veterans Administration for all of his life, for 40 years. And it was through that he taught me the values of hard work. That was really the key for my dad. And he saw his father work till he was 72 years old in the coal mines. He saw the opportunity he had because of the GI Bill to get an education. He worked hard at it, and he stressed in me that 90% perspiration, 10% inspiration was his thing. That you just keep plugging away and working hard, and you never know what can happen to you. And here I am. Was successful in politics and have a great family. Karen and I have 7 children. We're very, very blessed to be living the American dream. And we came, both Karen and I came from working towns, and Penn Hills, Pennsylvania for Karen, me, Butler, Pennsylvania, Steeltown, and those values that were instilled in us by our parents and by this community is really what's made us successful in America.
Did Romney miss it? Did you talk to him or try to get that message across to the Republican frontrunner in those days?
I did. I talked to him about how the importance of focusing on the 70% of people in America who don't have college degrees, who are feeling left behind by both parties. Republicans talk about job creators all the time, which is great. We need job creators. We need to make sure that we have incentives to create and build wealth in America. But we have to make sure that the private economy does what the liberals want to do with government, which is redistribute wealth. I use the example, there was a company called WhatsApp, which sold, I think, for $19 billion a few months ago. WhatsApp had 55 employees. Now, that's great for the 55 employees. It's great for the investors, excuse me, in that company. But it isn't a way to create wealth distributed among all working people. If that company, for example, was a manufacturing company worth $19 billion, I can guarantee you they'd have tens of thousands of workers having wages that support families all across this country. And that's the difference. We need to make sure that we have an economy that builds wealth for everybody. And that's why focusing, as I did in the campaign and I did with Governor Romney, talked about the importance of let's be a party that's for the middle American working person. the manufacturer, the construction worker, the folks on the energy line, to create opportunity for all of those folks in America. And I thought that would have been, and I believe still is, a winning message for America, not just for Republicans.
You know, I met with a group of union people. They had a contest of various people to address them, and I addressed them. And I think they voted my message tops because I was talking about responsibility and how they could get ahead and get a real stake in society. And the working people like that. And they liked your message. You won 11 states, didn't you?
We did. We won 11 states, even though we were outspent about 5 or 6 to 1 in almost every one of those states and everything, and on all the other ones too. But it really is. You talk about your message, and I know your message is about work and responsibility and the importance of family as an economic unit. We as conservatives have to start focusing on where the problems are in America and where the opportunities are for us to connect with voters who haven't been voting with us. And, the Republican Party, as you mentioned at the outset, maybe at one time was the party of big corporations and of the country club set and white-collar workers. But if you look at surveys today, they're no longer Republicans. I mean, we're barely 50-50 with Democrats with respect to those types of voters. Actually, where we're doing well is with middle-income voters and with even lower middle-income voters who are out there working, who know that the president's policies and the destruction of the culture that the left is doing, the destruction of the family, they understand that redistribution of wealth is a loser, that pretty soon you run out of other people's money, and that disincentivizing work and marriage is what the left's welfare programs do, is not a winner for them. But we have to start talking about these problems. We have to have solutions that I outline in the book, Blue Collar Conservatives. I lay out a game plan for America and for conservatives to be able to engage these workers, these people who want to live the American dream, but right now neither party's talking to them.
Oh, this may be a little bit early for this question, but are you going to go again? Have you decided yet?
Well, I haven't made any decisions yet, but right now I put this book out for 2014 because I think just being against what President Obama is doing, against Obamacare, the foreign policy disasters that you've outlined, the scandals that we've seen in the VA and IRS and a whole host of other places, those are good and fun things to talk about, to criticize the president. But I think it's more important to paint a positive vision. The Republican Party is the party of the union. We believe in unity. We believe in bringing people together, not the way the Democrats do, which is divide people by race or by ethnicity or by class. That's their deal. Our deal has to be unifying people, having a message that brings all Americans together. And that's why I put this book out there. And if that turns out to be a good platform for 2016, well, so be it. But right now, we're trying to drive that message for this year.
Rick Santorum, great friend, wonderful family man, and a tremendous conservative. Blue Collar Conservatives, the name of the book. It's available where books are sold, and we hope it is a bestseller. Rick, God bless you. Thanks for being with us.
Well, God bless you, Pat, and for all the great work you do. And I look forward to getting down to Virginia Beach soon to see you.
Please, you're welcome. Thank you. Wendy?
Great interview.